What's going on, people? It's Shadow Lee here, and this is my regular Agarest War review. But it's really a rant as it is much of a review because I really go on and on about the stuff that goes on in this game and that stuff that is so bad and the little stuff that's good about it. So let me get started here. I'm not gonna go too much into the game's story. I'm really gonna touch base with its graphics, its gameplay, its battle system. I'm not gonna touch so much into the story. I may do a little bit of story at the end, but as far as that goes, not really gonna touch on it. So let me start off with the game's presentation. The game is pretty much like its predecessor, regular Agarest War 1. And there's really no difference between Agarest War 1 and Zero here. They were using the same enemy designs, the same map designs, the same attacks, the same effects, everything. It's like just being recycled, and they packaged this game as a new game almost. The limited edition is $60. The regular edition is just $50. That's still a lot when you're recycling at least 80% of your game, and you're trying to pass it off as new. And the only real thing that you brought to the table that was really new is moving artwork, animated artwork. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. And you're reusing the same enemy designs from the company's previous games. You're reusing enemy designs from Cross Edge, Hyperdimensional Neptunia, Training Universe. Guys, that's just lazy as a part of a developer. You're reusing 80% of this game and you're not bringing anything new to the table. And you can't really say this is just a low budget developer, so you can't really blame them for being so, cheap. But when they had the first game already, and they had the attack effects, the enemy designs and whatnot made, and they're packaging it into the second game, that's just lazy. There's no excuse for that. Really, there is no excuse for that. You saved up money from recycling your enemy designs, your sound effects, and your attack effects. You can bring something new to the table for once. That's not flying with me. That's just stupid. I mean, guys, that's like Final Fantasy, this Final Fantasy series, using enemy designs from Dragon Quest. That's just lazy. So, going to the battle system a little bit here. It, again, remains pretty much the same as the predecessor of the first game. You're on the board here, and you're pretty much linking together your attacks with your other party members, moving around like a strategy RPG, and pretty much stacking up combos that you can to defeat your enemies. It's all about really building your combos up and pretty much just unleashing everything you can on your foe and just overkill him so you can get a special item or a rare item. But like I said before, it remains largely the same from its predecessor, and it really is pretty much. I really can't get on it as badly as I want to because it really is a good system. It's fun. It's fun to see all those attack effects. It's fun to come up with combos together. It's fun when you just put attacks together and you suddenly get out a combo, which is pretty awesome. But then again, it's the same as the previous game. Nothing's changed. Nothing new is brought to the game table. It's really good. It keeps you on your toes. What people can combo together. What attacks can they use? Are they going to be close enough to the boss? If they're too close to the boss, is the boss going to use Impulsive Wave and just pretty much rape me? There's a lot of things to consider when you go into this game. It's a matter of patience here. And at the same time, this is a matter of they just made this so freaking annoying that it's not even funny. So the game's difficulty, it's just as bad as the first game. I remember in the first game, I think it was the third generation, the third part of the game, and there was a boss. I kid you not, I thought I just wasn't meant to beat. He was just so overpowered. He had so much HP. His area effect was just ridiculous. I mean, I thought I was really supposed to lose to this guy. No, I wasn't. I had to beat this guy. I had to grind it out, make new equipment, and pretty much come up against this guy. And making new equipment and enhancing your equipment is a real big part of the game, because that's pretty much the only way you're going to get new weapons for your characters. And I can tell you right now, if you can't get how to make new equipment, if you can't grasp the concept around it, you don't even bother to try to play this game. That's just where it's at right there. Keeping your stats on level with the boss. And don't get me wrong, making new equipment and stuff is just half the battle. You know, positioning your characters on the battlefield, what combos is good to go with. Looking at what your opponent has, the abilities they have. If they have a certain ability that makes them immune to magic attacks, physical attacks, all that stuff. You really got going knowing what you're doing, because you could really just be doing so well, and then the boss can reach like 25% of his HP and just pretty much unleash holy hell on you, and you just lose. Seriously, you guys have no idea how complicated this game can be. But, you know, just as broken and everything as the bosses pretty much are, the game actually gives you a chance to just be that broken. You can be that, you know, cheap if you want to. But getting to that level is pretty hard to do. So that's kind of like, you know, it's 50-50. It's a give and take process, but more of the taking, because really the bosses are just so freaking overpowered. You have no idea. Okay, now this game can get really repetitive. I mean, it's really just battle, event, battle, boss, battle, event. You know, it just keeps repeating that same formula over and over again. And seriously, guys, when I say it gets repetitive, you really have no idea. I recommend that you guys stop playing for at least an hour before you just keep going, because you're gonna get sick of the game. Like, play for 2 hours, stop playing, and then play and start playing again, because it really gets repetitive. Now, there's no real exploration to be done in this game. I mean, the dungeons have been completely wiped out from the previous game to just have maps. Now, in the first record of Agarest War, the dungeon was pretty much you walk around and you can go from one room to another. But it was really tedious, because if you just kept, you know, progressing through the dungeon and you're one room away from the boss, and in that one room you run into a battle, and in that battle they just pretty much rape you, because you pretty much can't run from a battle in this game. You're pretty much screwed, because, you know, you're in no condition to face the boss. You might as well just run back out and just do it over again. That's just really stupid and tedious. So wiping that out in the frame of a map design, which you can just exit a dungeon at any point in time you want, is really good. But then again, it's bad because there's no exploration in it. Now, allow me to touch base with the story a little bit here. The story is pretty much a classic / cliche battle of good versus evil. You got the forces of light versus the forces of darkness. They even say that in the game. What really is original about this game, what I really have to tip my hat to, give it a round of applause, is what the game calls soul breeding system. Now, what that is your choices as the main character will affect 3 female leads in the game. And when their affection level is high enough at a certain point in the game, you can marry them, and their kid will carry over to the next part of the game with their stats pretty much and what weapons they use. And the actual character will look different depending on which girl you choose. Now, that aspect of the story is pretty good. You know, that's what keeps the story a little bit original. Now, I've been saying time and time again that stories and characters get cliche and stuff, but adding that one aspect to the story really keeps me from saying that. Now, let me get to the conclusion here. This game, I really can't give a score, because there's so much. It's like either I recommend the game to you or I don't recommend the game. And to be honest, I can't recommend this game. Only the hardcore need to apply. Like, if I ask you what's your favorite genre of game, and the first thing out of your mouth isn't RPG, don't play this game. And if it is RPG, if you say turn-based, action RPG, and strategy RPG is your third, you might want to be a little bit cautious about getting this game. And not to mention, the whole entire game's in Japanese. There is no English voice acting at all. Now, guys, don't be tempted by the beautiful artwork and the beautiful women and stuff like that. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. It's really hours of grinding, trial and error, all this stuff. It's just really a hard game to play. So you really should pretty much rent it first. If you can rent it, go ahead for the rent. If you can just borrow it from somebody, let borrow it. But as of right now, it's not worth $60 even for the limited edition. It's not even worth $50 for a standard edition. Ultimately, guys, play this game at your own risk.